Hello, beautiful collective. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and today we're going to gather here so that we can try to maybe, scry a little meaning from what's going on with this 3iATLAS. I have just been absolutely focused on, just like taken in by all of the news about 3iATLAS for the last couple months. Every day, I just, I gotta check in a few times a day to see what's going on. Is there any news? I've been having dreams around my time contemplating 3iATLAS. I have been finding that other people in my life are also drawn to this topic, and it is something that just seems to be like resonating in the greater zeitgeist as well. If you don't know what 3iATLAS is, it is a interstellar object that, I don't know when it entered our local galaxy, but it was first noticed in about July, I think, of this year, maybe June, I think was maybe the first time they got a reading of it, but it was for something else. Right, they were looking at something else, and it didn't register at that point. But I think in July, that's when they're like, "Oh shoot, okay, there's something headed in this general direction," right? And so there's all kinds of news every day, different things. It's glowing green, it's growing blue, it's speeding up, it's slowing down, it's getting bigger, it's getting small. Who knows, right? All kinds of stuff. Every day it seems different. But I swear, there's just something about this one. Okay, it's something about this one that feels like it's going to continue to be very impactful on humanity. Now, I don't have any proof of this. I just have a feeling for what that's worth. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to ask Spirit. We're going to ask the universe. We're going to ask the 3iATLAS itself. What do we have going on here? What is happening? How is this going to, change the collective? How is it going to change our individual lives, right? Whoever you are that's watching this, how is 3iATLAS going to affect your life, right? So let's go ahead. We're going to start with, we have the Thoth deck, we have the Oracle of the Radiant Sun right here, and then we also have the Hermetic Tarot deck. And I'm going to start with that, and we're just going to kind of wing it, see how. I don't have any format for how I'm going to do this reading. I just like doing these collective readings. They're kind of fun. So let's go ahead and start. We have the 9 of Discs. And this is about, like our material lives really like coming together. We are seeing something. We're seeing something come out of all of our hard work. Right? You have been devoted. You've been devoted to the way, and a lot of that has been in the dark, right? Or you're just kind of operating off of a hope or prayer, But I do feel like there is some success. There is some gain coming along with this 3iATLAS energy. And let's also just mention that I think it's in December, maybe the end of November, 3iATLAS is going to kind of go into a position where we can't see it because of the sun, and it is going to kind of reappear after that. Especially if it like stays on the same course, if it changes, everything changes. But so we'll see in the next couple of months, like as we're going to see this thing again, hopefully, we'll have more of a clear view, right? But it's also the momentum of the energy is building. Okay. Now we're going to clarify, where is this happening within our life with the gain? Okay. So we have rebellion, loss. Okay. and a decision. Okay, so a rebellion, loss, and a decision. So it does feel to me like this is going to be kind of an ethical issue for you. I almost kind of wonder if it's like something where like maybe you became estranged from your family to some degree, or you're like no contact. You were maybe like the rebellious kid in the family. There is a sense of maybe somebody transitioning and something being left to you. Okay. That, or it could be that there is this like a sense of maybe somebody getting fired from your work. But there is an opportunity here to be making some money, resources with that gain, right? But here's the deal. I think it goes against your ethics, or at least like, your feeling. Like this is like a thing where like, I don't know, you're like your older brother who you never speak to. He works at a great company, has a great job. A position opens up, it happens to be within your field. You get the information through your spouse or something. Their spouse told your spouse, and you got it from them because you don't talk to them. But now, here's the question. Is the money good enough? Is it important enough? Are you going to take this, carrot from your sibling? Or is it too much of a problem within the relationship that you were unwilling to take help from somebody that, for whatever reason, you don't feel okay communing with them, So a decision has to be made. And I'm going to see, because I'm nosy, I want to see kind of like what happens. We have order and discovery. And then we're going to go health. Okay, order, discovery, health. So I do think that you are definitely a very logical-minded person. And instead of just like going off of your first instinct of, heck no, get out of here with that. I feel like for you, it's more of like let's look at the finances. Let's look at what does this do to our, our goals, our long-term goals. How is this going to affect my life and my family's life in a practical sense? And getting all of that kind of in order. And I think really discovering within yourself that as you have gotten older and you've done more interior work, you are much better at looking at a situation without being super reactive. Now, you might have the emotions and you might have all of the thoughts and the feelings and stuff, but you are not acting on that like you maybe would have when you were younger. And so I feel like the health thing right on top, this to me is a clear indicator that you have put your wellness before anything else, right? You have been working really hard on getting really, this is something that is trending in my own mind. This idea of of regulating our nervous system intentionally. Okay. I am neurodivergent. Okay. So I have some sensory stuff. I have all kinds of things with attention and anxiety and this and that because I have ADHD and I've got the autism a little bit there, and PTSD, CPTSD, and so being able to get to a place where you're making decisions that serve you well and serve your mental state well, your psychic well-being, it all influences the health, right? Your physical health, your health in the material world. And so I do think that this is really at the core of it, you coming into this mastery of reaction somewhat over self, right? And this is really promoting that lower stress, less cortisol, less lamenting, less ruminating. And I just really feel like there's a sense of like waking up with energy for the first time in a long time. Getting out of bed and being somewhat excited about your day, noticing that you actually want to do stuff, instead of like trying to just get through it all so you can get home and crawl in bed and hide, So I do think that this is really such an important time because things are not easy, because you have to make some decisions. You have to really look at this thing. And as you make the decisions that align with your true will, your true purpose, and your best interest, really, as you are doing this, your life is starting to order itself in a way that really is so beneficial to your greater work. And the beginning of that is with our health, with the health of our home, our relationships with ourselves, with our bodies, all these things. So I feel like, even though I guess in a lot of ways I feel very uncertain about this 3iATLAS stuff occurring. I'm excited about it, but still, I don't know. I think it will probably just end up being something that we never hear about again. Or, oh yeah, you remember that 3iATLAS thing? That was weird. That kind of thing. Although, on the off chance that it does change the history of humanity, I really do. I think that this is a time where there is like a revealing happening, but it's not like necessarily so much like the collective revealing. It's more so along the lines of us revealing ourselves to ourselves. Like we are both the hermit with the lamp studying ourselves, but we're also the witness, right? We are also the one that's really seeing parts of ourselves for the first time very clearly. And not only that, making decisions that further support those aspects of self that maybe we didn't even realize we had. So I do feel that this is a really beneficial time. It's a lot of growth, okay? Now, we're going to get on to the next part. We're going to basically do the same thing and just kind of start ourselves over a little bit. See what the next topic or ordeal might be. And I just I know I don't really shuffle these because there's so many of them, and I'm not great at shuffling, but I do like to mix them up and make sure that, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to put this in here. Let's actually start with the Thoth. We'll do this right here, and these are the small ones. Okay, so we have success again. Wonderful. The Six of Discs, okay? So let's go ahead. We're going to do a little bit more. I want to kind of clarify. Okay, so we have universe. I actually, I'm not surprised by that at all. It feels like a reorganization of like a lot of things, right? Like the universe is shifting a little bit for us little earth beings. Okay, and art, of course. I just read for Pisces, and I think they had the art card, right? No. Yeah. I don't remember. Maybe it was Aquarius. I can't remember. One of the two. But anyways, so we have the universe, success, and art. So art is all about combining different variables or elements or whatever parts of our lives and synthesizing it into the life that we want, the system within our life that we want. It really is about alchemizing or at least looking at it through the paradigm of, right, alchemy. You would think of this as like when you are, well, for instance, like say you have a family, right? You get divorced, whatever. You meet somebody else, they have kids, you all come together, you Brady Bunch the thing, and the art is about blending that family, right? The process of that, all of the things that go into it, all the moving parts, all the different personalities. And so we can apply this to all parts of our life. Okay, so I do feel like everything is really coming into a place where you are seeing a lot of success. You are starting to really see that when you are intentional and you are involved directly with kind of the planning of your life and being intentional about your choices and the movements you make, yeah, it does. It starts to come into balance for you. Okay, now I want to look, we're going to ask again the Oracle of the Radiant Sun to kind of clarify some of this for us. So, status, principle, coral. Okay, so I think that you are very concerned with staying true to self. Like if you were an artist or a writer or whatever, you would not want your work edited, censored, changed at all. You are a purist, okay? You stand on principle about these things. Now, you are also looking for status to some degree, so that is some success to be, noticed and people to respect and so on and so forth. But I do think that there is some coral in there, right? Maybe you have a partner you work with. Maybe you're receiving some, kind of hard to swallow criticisms or, I don't know. It could even just be like your family. You have a spouse. They don't like what you're doing. You're all of a sudden you're spending all your time like carving wood in the garage and you're not talking to anybody, It could be something like that. Let's go ahead. We're going to keep going. Okay, so we have organization and caution. So if you are going to keep doing this and get involved in it more formally, excuse me, I need a drink. I don't even know if that was a sneeze or a cough. All of a sudden, my throat just seized up a little bit there. Okay. So, if you get involved with like an organization, like, I don't know, maybe you're selling your stuff through somebody or, somebody's interested in whatever you're creating, they want to buy it from you, whatever it is. Proceed with caution, okay? Because I do feel like this is a situation that's too good to be true. I feel like it's like you're starting up something and it's going to gain traction quickly. And I do feel like you will get status, but I think that you weren't equipped for all of this to happen so quickly. So you're learning as you go and it's really happening so fast. So you need to really have caution about who you work with, okay? Who you, align yourself with. That's a big thing. And it sucks, with branding and stuff, you have to be so careful. And to some degree it needs to be like that. But at the same time, man, it's like, it's wild how we know so much about so many people that we get like involved with. Not even like on a real serious level, just like knowing little tidbits about people. Like, oh, I can't, do a podcast with that person because, they don't support this thing or they do support that thing. It's a lot. But you have to do your due diligence, especially if you have a business. You have to look into these things. And so be cautious, okay? And then we'll pull one more. And it's going to be independence. Yeah, so go your own way. 100%. That is the vibe. Don't let anybody get involved in what you're doing and kind of take it over or compromise your integrity, right? If you're about that life, you got to be about that life. Okay, let's see. We're going to put these over here. And I don't know. I think we should try let's do one more. I'm not going to do the tarot, just the tarot like I just have been doing. I think we're going to try, I want to do some like maybe, I don't know, maybe try to channel a little bit. I know people have been doing remote viewing on 3iATLAS, but I kind of just want to go, I want to see what is like around this thing. Not in the physical world. Thinking about deep space scares me. It's not deep space, it's close to us, but thinking about space creeps me out a little bit. But yeah, so let's go. I want to see what is surrounding this occurrence as it flies through the life of whomever is listening. That's you. What is the energies that it's bringing? What are the things that are coming up? What is it unearthing? What is it bringing into the light? So I begin at the bottom of a tower. Okay, you could call it a tower. You walk in the door and there's a spiral staircase. And I put my foot on the first step. I'm going to start with my right. I set my right foot down. I put my fingertips against the cold wall. It's some kind of stone. And I start to look up. And I see that the stairs seem pretty steep. And I push off. I start to go up. 1 foot after another. I've gone up 2 stairs, 3 stairs, 4 stairs. I look around the corner it's not a corner, the curve. I look around the curve of the spiraling stairs and I see that there's a door that I am approaching. Above the door is insignia. There's a color kind of emanating. I notice that it's blue. It is a blue energy. This one is not the one. We're going to keep going. Now I've been up 17, 18, 19, 20 stairs. 21, 22, and here, another door. This door is, what is it, saffron, orange? It's beautiful and warm. I think this is the place. I think this is where we want to go. But I don't think so yet. We're going to go to the green door. We're going to keep going up. I want to go to the orange door, but we're going to go to the green door because we know that orange door, and we will get there at some point, right? That orange door, there is something filling, healing, beloved there. But that's not for today. But it's waiting. Okay? It's waiting. Now, we're going to reach the 37th step. And there will be a green door. There, the insignia will be simple. There will be 3 letters. Can you tell me what those 3 letters are? If you know, put them in the comment section. We open the door. And it's dark in there. I put my foot through the threshold and my hand reaches out. It's cold. It feels cold. There's nothing on here. I keep realizing, there's nothing there. Sometimes I like to draw when I'm trying to get into something. So we've stepped in. It's cold. It feels like if you've ever been to like a bar or club where like everything's painted black, you've like entered a room that's just a void. But you can see it's not a void. It just looks like a void. And I'm looking, seems to be some kind of step, a cube maybe. And there immediately is a sense of, it almost is like laughing, a sense of don't trip, like you're clumsy. We're going to go along the outside. I'm going to the right and around the corner. My fingers are touching the walls and they feel cold still. A little bit damp maybe. But when you check your hands, it's not damp. That's an interesting. Why? It doesn't matter, I guess. I don't know. There's a necklace. It is something like an octopus. Like an octopus. Not an old one. I was immediately like, oh, are these the old ones? No. Where are we going? I have a distinct, it's like a distinct feeling of being inside a lot. There's almost no desire to be outside. So you'll maybe spend the next couple of months arguing with yourself about, do I want to go outside today? Do I want to spend some time? I should go take a walk. This is a good day for a walk. And for some reason, there's just this like sharp block. Oh, that's the block maybe. Maybe it's the blockage. And it just seems like you're having a hard time getting there. Maybe a sense of melancholy. I feel like just more than anything, there is this really kind of almost, it's like a casual response to what is happening. It doesn't feel like a big deal to you because it's like, I've already known all of this. I already know what. We're coming to these collective understandings, but I've already been here. I've already been doing this for so long. At the same time, there's a sense of, well, fear, excitement, but also just more of the same. That's what it feels like. This is just more of the same, more of the same. Like, I feel like you're just kind of like almost jaded when it comes to these big moments where you think, oh, yes, this is going to be the time. This is where, you know, we're really going to have like a shift in the zeitgeist. And it doesn't happen in this big way. It's kind of these small little ways. And it builds up to the point where you don't really realize how different the world is, even just in the last 20 years. But more so than that, just the way that we approach information, the way that we think about things, the way that, you know, how things are so readily available. I mean, it used to be that, you know, I would ask my parents, how do I spell something? Oh, go get the dictionary. Or you needed to know something and you didn't have an encyclopedia set at home. You like had, half of it or whatever. You would have to go to the library. You'd have to find somebody who knows, to ask them. Now it's not like that anymore. So I feel like more than anything, this next period of time is going to be so much about you coming to terms with the fact that there has been so much novelty in the world, and there's so many things and there's so much stimuli that even these big shifting events, it doesn't feel like much. Even though it's almost kind of like your ability to be surprised by something is like burnt out a little bit, right? But I think that this is a moment where you recognize this in self. And I think this is where some changes are going to occur. Because I feel like, collectively, stuff is always changing, realigning. But I think suddenly it's so much more perceivable that so much is always changing, and you are aware that so many things are changing every single day, constantly, that there's this overwhelm, burnout, overstimulation, that when something really big does happen, it kind of doesn't feel like anything anymore, especially if you're somebody who watches the news and all that. I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. It is quite a, if you just miss a few days of the news and you go back, it's like, you're like, am I on a different timeline? Am I like checking into the wrong reality? Because things change so quickly now. But yeah, I think this is the big thing. Now, here's the deal. I think a lot of us are to the point where we're needing to have some kind of reset within self, or maybe taking a break from some of this abundance of, and I'm going to keep saying it, information. If that means taking like a social media break, if that's like, I'm getting into and I don't want to align myself with this realm of the internet, but my winter arc, right? Really locking in and working on, my goals. A lot of them are fitness goals for me, personally, but they can be anything. So the winter arc is kind of where you disappear towards the end of the winter or the end of the year and get really focused on your goals before the new year comes. So I do feel that this kind of detoxing from, if it's social media, if it is the news, if it is, socializing or whatever it is, I feel like this is going to be really important for you. Even if it's a day. I know, like that sounds like not a lot, but it can be hard to break the habit that we get into. Like for me, I take social media breaks constantly. Sometimes like for years, like during lockdown and stuff, I was off of social media for like 2 years because it was too much. I was too stressed out. I had a newborn, and it's just, I didn't want to be reading people like literally in like ultimate terror every day, because I was really in terror as well, like a lot of us were. And yeah, so I had to like get off of there. And Yeah, I think to some degree it really does. When you have like less information coming in, it just, I don't know, you start to realize like, man, how was I even juggling all of the stuff I was? It's just constant, like a ticker tape of just info right into the brain, like all the time. So I think getting a handle on that and allowing your brain to kind of just, take a little breather, most excellent. So if that's what 3iATLAS is like bringing us and reminding us of, I absolutely am here for it. Also, if you want to see, just kind of, I don't know, you want to scry this? Now we can scry our scribbles. But yeah, anyways, I think that's it. Like I said, I did not set up like a format for these readings, so I'm just kind of doing what feels right and testing stuff out. Oh, I almost fell. I don't know. I've said this before, and then somebody got all weird and was like, "I can't believe you have to work in a closet." My little studio now is in my walk-in closet in my bigger studio. It's an office that's a studio. And no, nobody is making me work in a closet, okay? It's just better for the sound. It's easier to soundproof it. But I'll have to take a picture and post it at some point. Like, I am just, like, perched on this little chair and, kind of surrounded by all my stuff. So, if I fall over, it's gonna be... I'm gonna take all the lights with me and stuff. But anyways, I love you so much. Thank you for being here. I know this one's kind of all over the place, but you know what? I also, here's a question for you. What kind of divination are you interested in seeing? I was thinking about doing some like ink casting, not like print ink stuff, but like in water, right? Doing maybe some of that. I really, really like to read grains and corn. And so I don't know. If there's anything that you are interested in, let me know. I'm willing to try different things. I'm willing to see how I could like maybe film different things. But yeah, I'm just having fun with it. I have been working on remote viewing, getting my skills, honed a little bit in the last, I don't know, when did I start doing this? Maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. And doing more mediumship. I've always kind of done mediumship a little bit, but never like for other people. So I'm figuring all of that out, like how to. It's hard for me because I don't know what to say to people. Always, like, if you are somebody that has any kind of like vision, psychic vision or clairvoyance, or you can engage in some kind of mediumship or channeling or whatever, you probably, especially if you are a visual person like I am, you probably get an onslaught of stuff, things that are being said to you or shown to you or whatever. And I'm trying to like suss out what do I say and what don't I say, right? With the tea leaves, it's a little different, because I'm reading through symbols more so than having like these direct interactions. And yeah, so I'm trying to learn like, what do I feel comfortable talking about? There are certain things that I don't like to talk about, which is like health stuff or, I can't give you any advice for anything like financial or medical or anything like that. But, there's all kinds of stuff that comes up and I'm like, I don't know. So I'm practicing. And I appreciate you helping me with that because these videos, although, I'm putting them out, I am still learning as we go. All right. So anyways, I love you. We're going to talk soon. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, go ahead and do that. Also, today's date is October 8th, 2025. This will be coming out on October 9th, 2025. I'm trying to include the date just so you know that it was recorded on whatever date. You can go back and look and see what was going on for you on that date if you watch this, in the future at some point. All of these readings are timeless. So when you watch them, they are activated. All right. I love you. We'll talk soon. Good night.